Hi there, it's Michelle here. I hope you're doing really well today, and welcome to day 5 of 7 days of intuitive development. Today we're diving into where do our intuitive messages come from. I talked a lot about this yesterday, so maybe I won't dive too deep into it. And then I'd like to do a group reading if anybody's here and would be interested. And the reason we're doing this for 7 days is the doors to my group called Intuition Circle are now open for a short time. I open the doors almost every season. And I'll give you a little detail about it. Intuition Circle is my online group for women who are interested in developing their psychic and intuitive abilities. Now, and I try to keep it as simple as possible, but we as empaths and sensitives, our greatest gift is the fact that we can feel and sense subtle energies. We can feel the emotions of people, the planet, animals. We can feel sometimes the energy that's coming into manifestation, right? You just know something's about to happen, and then boom, it happens. Can you relate to that? Those abilities really are psychic and intuitive abilities. So the gifts of an empath is being psychic and intuitive. If you're here, say hi. Say hi or put the hand wave or thumbs up. Just let me know you're here. That would be awesome. I just want to talk a little bit about, what Intuition Circle is, the source of messages, and I'd love to do a group reading. So that's, what I've noticed, we've had several new members come into Intuition Circle. Now I've been teaching psychic and intuitive development for many years, and I moved it online in July of 2018. I started it, and it's been going really well. And now that I see the new members coming in this week, how fast they're picking up on things and connecting with people is shocking to me. You guys tell me if there's a word for when you start something and then it's really solid and then people can come in and just open up right away. I don't know what happened. I don't know if there's just it's like the tipping point when there's so many gathered that when somebody else comes in, it just clicks. I think there might be an energy for it or a word for it. Maybe it's called the tipping point, but I'm seeing it with the new people coming in. What we started in July of 2018, what took us months to develop, people are coming in now and developing it pretty quick, very quick. So I don't know if it's just the type of person that's coming in now or the energy that we've created. I don't know. It's so fascinating. I don't know that. I think it might be called the tipping point. Whenever whatever energy is greatest, people adapt to. It's starting to feel like that. So it's kind of cool. Okay, so let's get started. Everybody's saying hi. Thank you for being here. Holly, Angela, Pamela, Maria, Donna. Holly says, I can even feel it through the TV. So weird. Yeah, you're talking about being the sensitive, right? Like picking up on the energy of it. Me too. Here, so in just a little bit, Sarah. Okay, so let's quickly talk about the source of messages. Where do your messages come from? Type it in the chat. So you know how you get these intuitive hits, or you just know things about yourself. You know things that are going to coming up. You know how people are feeling. Where do you think that comes from? Can you type it in the chat instead of me telling you to know what you think? Type it in the chat so I can see it. Where does this take place? Where does this information come from? A few more people are saying hi. I'm sure there's a lapse in time, like from when I say it to when you can write it and when I can read it. Okay, I'll just keep going here. Love to know what you think though. Where, in your opinion, where does this information come from? So I'll give you some that I have found. Number one, we can just pick up on the emotions of other people, right? We resonate with them. It's how we connect and and receive information. It's one of the gifts we have. So we can just pick up on the thoughts, feelings, and emotions of somebody else. Honestly, you know what else happens? We have things within us that some of those things we're aware of, some of them we're not aware of. Let's just call them the unhealed things that we're not aware of. Sometimes when someone comes into our life, and let's say we notice the sadness within them, what's actually happening, not always, but some of the time, is our repressed or unprocessed unconscious sadness gets triggered. And we actually believe we're picking up on theirs. But sometimes, a lot of times, ours is just being revealed to us. Does that make sense? Yes. Okay, awesome. Okay, so that's one thing. That's one way we pick it up. We either pick up on theirs or they're pressing the buttons of ours, and that's one way we get information. Another way we get information, somebody said it in the chat. Crystal says our guides. So I'm going to talk about a few things. If it's not in your belief system, let it go. I like to learn new things, and I always like to try new things on for size. So I think that's part of growing wiser. So I have a connection with my spirit guides, and I've built this relationship. I learned about this when I was in mediumship school, connecting to my guides, and I've continued to develop that relationship. They work with me a lot when I'm with myself, and then they work with me a lot when I'm working with other people. And for me, my guides just stand on the side, and lots of times I'm working with someone and I won't know what to do next, so I close my eyes and they'll be in a line and someone will pop out and say, do this, ask that, or it's time to do this. And I just follow that. And that information comes from my guides. Information also comes from a place I call my higher self. Again, I'm a clairsentient. I feel things, so hopefully this resonates with you, but you might be a seer, a knower, a hearer. So I'll try to say these in different ways. For me, higher self is a feeling of sitting on the mountaintop. So all of a sudden I'll start feeling that feeling, and I'll know that's a connection to my higher self that I need to tap into. So for me, it's almost like positioning. My guides are positioned here. Higher self is a feeling of going to the mountaintop. Soul writing and soul connection, it's a stronger voice, a very clear voice. It feels like it's within me. Sometimes I have a voice that comes from this way, and it feels very authoritative. And it feels like somewhere between, I feel like it's soul stuff again. It comes this way. It's a more direct voice. And then who else? Mediumship. So mediumship is connecting with people who've crossed over. In my own people who've crossed over, they come in different ways. My dad always comes in this way. Whoosh. It's a whoosh feeling. Now sometimes, so I'll just know that's him because it's a whoosh feeling, and then I can connect. When I'm working with somebody in mediumship, a client, where people stand around them tells me who they are, whether it's a mother, male or female, then mother, father, grandfather, cousin, sister, brother, friend, someone on the same level as them. So it's all, does that make sense? What else? There's so many more sources of messages, but the ones I use those. Jackie says, I am a feeler but have a hard time understanding. Jackie, I can completely relate to that, and it's just a matter of development. And what I mean by that is you've never had anyone to help you understand what you have and how to use it and what it is, and it's really just a matter of understanding it and using it. But it is hard to do on your own. That's why I have Intuition Circle. We can all day long read books about intuition, but unless you're in community talking about it, asking questions, getting mentoring, practicing with people, that's where the growth takes place. I would love to say reading a book does it, but it doesn't. It reminds me of if I read a book about riding a bike That's not riding a bike, right? I have to go outside, get on the bike, ride the bike. Like, this is what Intuition Circle is like. It's real. It's real people having real conversations and practicing with each other. I've talked a lot about like the stages of development, and I'll say it again. You know, we all have doubt about our abilities. It's probably the biggest thing that holds us back. What if I'm making it up? What if I don't really have abilities? What if I'm not good enough? What if I'm have more power than I thought I did? I'm scared of my own strength and abilities. What if I bring in negativity? These are all the fears that pop up for people. I call that the doubt phase. Can you relate to that? If I can get you to go past that, like most people won't move past the doubt, they'll stay there. But if I can get you to just like even try Intuition Circle, I really feel like I'm best with people in doubt who are willing to try it and go to discover. It's just this feeling of, I want you to be willing to discover what's possible for you. There's so much more to you than you realize. And I love that space of helping people see what they're capable of. Then it moves on to developing your abilities. Then it moves on to believing in yourself and your abilities. So if you think about it, if you're getting intuitive information and you clearly get that information and you trust it and you act on it, and you let doubt go and you follow the flow of what you're getting, it's a very different life. It's a life of living in the flow as opposed to a life of living with doubts and blocks. Does that make sense? So you developing your abilities, really, it's a personal growth development. It's spiritual development too. Not religious development, but it's spiritual in the idea of you are connecting to you and what's true for you and living in that fully. That's what I mean by spiritual development. I like right there. Would you guys be up for that? I'm playing to Okay, Denise says, I have a combination. Sometimes I just feel and sometimes I hear. So you are clairsentient and clairaudient. And that's awesome. A lot of us are one thing or multiple things, right? And I feel like, and we all have them all. It's just one is strongest within us. And Denise, I'll give you a learning tip. It's work with the one that's strongest within you first, because that one will develop the greatest. And then as you focus on the one that's the strongest, the other ones will start to develop too. It's inside of Intuition Circle if you want that. Okay, Roseanne said, I had it good and in place when I was young. Don't know how to get it back again like I had it. So Roseanne, it's okay. It's like, that's so true for a lot of us. We had these abilities when we were younger, and we either were traumatized from them or traumatized about something in life that we kind of shut them down, or we just tried to fit into the molds of society and our family, where these things that we are good at, they just don't really have, the regular world doesn't acknowledge them. Does that make sense? But it's really interesting because now that I've acknowledged it myself, I have found my place in the world. Like the world not acknowledging them is a reflection of ourselves. So when I didn't acknowledge my own gifts, it was reflected to me in the world. As I've developed my gifts, believed in myself, stepped into my own power, and just been okay with the truth of me, so has the world. And I found a lot of great people like you. Here. We were reading the other day, I think maybe yesterday or the day before, and I didn't have my cards on me, but I have my card deck because I'm at home. So here's what to do if you're going to stick with me. This will only take a few minutes. I want you to think of something in your life that you would like some information on. So let's not make this like we don't know what this is going to be about. I want you to say this is about this relationship, or whatever Michelle says is going to be about my finances, or about my health, or about my career, or about my child, or about my relationship with my spouse or significant other. Like, I want you to type it in right now, like what you're wanting information on. And I'm going to pull a card for all of us. And it's going to be your job to plug in what that means for you. So Denise says, thank you. Been working on that. Still trying not doubt myself when I hear the conversations in my head. Denise, I know it sounds like a plug, and I don't mean it to be. I would love for you to try Intuition Circle for a month. If you don't like it in a month, I'm happy to give you your $47 back. If it's not for you, you'll just call me and say, I tried it, didn't like it. I have a feeling you would really like it. So if you're willing to give it a try, I would love that to help you. And you'll be immediately put into our Intuition Circle Facebook, where you'll find me every day talking with people. Okay, here we go. Okay, career, relationship, it's beautiful. Oh yeah, their source, Angela. Your career, awesome. In my house, relationship with son, significant other, my ability, awesome. My gift, life, relationship with Kevin. Okay, awesome. So you've got it pinpointed down. So here we go. Let's see if we can make this applicable to a group of us. So all I do, Oracle cards is what we're focused on in the Intuition Circle this month. So, and they're fun. They're fun. And when my life's wobbly, I trust cards more than I trust myself. So I've been using my cards a lot lately. Okay, I got it. Okay, so when I was shuffling the cards there, I was just saying the intention of to help each and every one of you. And that's all I was saying to myself. Okay, so let's see what this is. So I'm going to give you the card. I'm going to read it, and then I might say things about it that are coming to me, and then you have to apply it to your life. This is part of you using your intuition, is plugging it into your life and asking yourself, what does this mean to me? And letting yourself get an answer. Okay, so here's the card that can you guys see that? I don't know if it's the right way. Boundaries. You can tell I've been painting. Boundaries. So I'm going to read this. Strong fences create strong relationships. So strong fences create strong relationships. Declare clear boundaries in your life. Honor yourself. Protect your sacred space. What does that mean to you? Maybe even before you go to how do you apply that to the thing you were thinking of, what does boundaries mean to you? Strong fences create strong relationships. Declare clear boundaries in your life. Honor yourself. Protect your sacred space. So now I'm just going to intuitively go in and start saying a few things and see what hits you and what doesn't. More just focus on what resonates with you. Let go of everything else. So the feelings I'm getting are like, why let ourselves get so low before we're committed on boundaries again. It's almost like we get low and then try to implement the boundaries again. Get low, implement the boundaries again. Get low, and it gets so painful that we're like, okay, I gotta do this again. Like, that's the pattern I'm seeing. And I'm seeing it in my own life too, but I'm sharing it with you now because it's coming through now. So let me know if that resonates with anybody. And the next thing I feel is, I feel like people think there's a certain energy that's required to set a clear boundary. Like, I have to be stronger, I have to be tougher, I have to be less empathic or something like that. We have a misperception about the energy required to set a boundary. Boundaries can also be set with love, compassion, clarity. And I want you to feel the difference between deciding boundaries in love and compassion and setting boundaries in I have to be tough and lose my empathic abilities. Do you feel the difference? We are going to choose to feel it. What would it look like if we did it from the energy of love and compassion and being ourselves? The next thing I'm being taught or told is this is also connected to self-care, whatever self-care means for you. We're losing our ability to care for ourselves because we have our boundaries. We're taking care of other people. There's a imbalance. So I want you to next think about what does self-care mean for you. For some people, like for me right now, it's just getting enough sleep is my top priority. And knowing when to like slow down. What is self-care for you? I mean, it can be as simple as like, hair and nails kind of stuff, or it can be sleep, reading, sunshine, digging in the dirt, connecting with like-minded people. Like, what brings you rejuvenation or a little bit of juicing sometimes? I like to be juiced. In other words, I like to kind of feel connected and talking with people. So there's that too. Okay, I think that's it for all of that. Now, next thing. Did anything I say between reading the card and kind of what I riffed on connect with you? Yes or no? No. I'm going to review. Yes, that's hidden. Yes. Absolutely. I have started, Tanya said, I have inspiration. Awesome. Lethic. Yes. 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 Totally relate to this now in reference to myself and loving myself and creating in my relationships. Aaron just said it better than I did. To do me. Saying no more me. Awesome. Oh, what is it? I have to suffer from strangers. Okay, so, one of the things I teach inside Intuition Circle is we let go of right and wrong. When we start practicing using our intuition for other group, the biggest thing people freak out about is like, what if I'm wrong? Because we don't do that. We say our perception is never wrong. Our interpretation might be off, but what you perceive is never wrong. So we just give what we get and we hand it to the person. And then we watch the unfoldment. It's what I did for you. I just gave what I got, and it was your job to dial that into your own life and figure out what it means for you. That's a real reading, in my opinion. I mean, it is cool. Mediumship's cool. We do some of that. We have one class of mediumship in there inside of Intuition Circle. But this is what I teach it. This is the way I teach it. Like, give what you get, let go of the fears and doubts, and let the person do the interpreting. It is fun. Okay, I hope that if you decide to join Intuition Circle for a month, like I said, it's 100% risk-free. If you don't like it, if it's not for you, I will give your $47 back. So if it's called, I encourage you to give it a try. The doors are open. My heart is open to helping whoever is new and is interested. If you decide to join, you'll have immediate access to, dozens of masterclasses, from connecting to your spirit guides, developing your spiritual team, lots of different tools and techniques. I'm trying to think of them all. Mediumship, lots of tech like the head, heart, and gut technique. Dream work. We just did a series in February with Penny Pierce, the author of Dream Work for Dummies or Dreaming for Dummies. So she came into our group. There's all of that. We have a Facebook group for just members, and we have live calls on Zoom several times a month. If you have, and we have one this Saturday, I believe, like a Q&A and coaching call. If you have any questions, please feel free to post them here. The link in the description above. I think Olivia, my daughter, is here, and she's talking to you all. Great. Okay, I hope this was helpful, and I hope you're staying safe and have a great day. Okay, bye.